YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? If this is your first time tuning in, go ahead, hit the doggone subscribe button, hit the notification bell every time I post up new content. Listen, people, out of all of the shows that I've done over the years, right? I always actually really try to bring y'all uh, the best content possible, regardless of subject, right? But sometimes I'll be wanting to ask, and which I have asked. I just haven't asked uh, all of the people that actually really subscribe to this channel, and even people who actually really gonna watch this video that are not subscribed to the channel. I always wanted to ask the question or questions. It's like, okay, well, what is what does it mean to have the ultimate knowledge? And is it actually really possible to know every goddamn thing? Now, if you ask the crazy uncle, I would tell you yes, it is possible to know everything. Everything that is actually really going to help you survive, to help you survive in life. Now, once you actually really have that information or have that knowledge, then it's actually really up to it's really actually up to you on what you actually really gonna do with the knowledge or the information that has been given on to you. Because it's a lot of people out there, they'll sit up here all goddamn day long and say, well, hey, guess what? It's impossible to know everything. And then for the most part, I would actually really tell you, no, that's bullshit too. Right? Because to say everything, right? Then here's where the questions come in at. What is everything? That is for the most part, that is a very broad definition. It's a question or a definition that you can be like, well, shit, everything, and nobody can act like really give a somewhat of a direct, on point answer. And if you have to really stop and think about that for a minute, it's a lot of things out there that actually really fall under. They really actually really fall under so-called everything, right? So for the most part, you know, I actually really, and I thought this same way. I've been thinking this same way for as long as I can remember. Even when I was a child, I would always ask myself, okay, well, how come it's racism, so-called racism, when it's against so-called black folks and so-called white folks? When it was black on black on black on, when it's black or white on white, ain't shit said. And then even then, at an early age, I actually really started doing research. The best way that I could do research. And that what I found out, a lot of the stuff that is put in front of us, a lot of it's straight up bullshit. And then it's for the simple fact that I go on down the line and then I hear what other people say, and it goes back to what Dr. Williams said, right? Where you have these people like, oh, what they call it, the chosen people syndrome, right? Well, for the most part, I can actually really say, well, guess what? There is a such thing as a chosen group of people. But just know that that chosen group of people ain't necessarily got to be the same damn color. The ultimate knowledge is this. And I know a lot of people probably, uh, who may or may not watch this video. The ultimate knowledge is this, people. Know everything that you need to know at this particular time in your life. And hold on to whatever it is that you need to hold on to at this particular time in your life. That's the ultimate knowledge. But here's the deal. This is what the fuck you got to do. You actually really got to go back and look at everything that everybody's ever said to you and start questioning it. And then even then, you got to look at it like this. Whoever told you that, right? For the most part, they may have, put like this. It was always in good intentions. Anybody that's ever told you anything about anything, they only actually really went on what was taught to them. But what happens with a lot of us is that we bank on what the fuck people that have told it to us. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of those people are older than us. A lot of times those people are our parents, our family. Or it could be like that one guy in the neighborhood. Okay, all right, I got you. What's up there, Blue Meyer, Lulu? I got you. I'm actually really talking about questions. You know, what's the ultimate knowledge? What is the ultimate knowledge? You know, just questions. Any type of question that's been bugging the shit out of you. So, damn, I hate when I do that. But for me, I just look at it like this. It ain't a day that goes by that I try to learn something. And then once I actually really learn something, then I actually really go back and look at, okay, well, what does this mean really? Oh, well, because the thing about it though is this. But the whole thing about that whole Emmett Till deal, right, is that for the simple fact, and I've noticed that about a lot of my videos. One or two things is actually really gonna happen. They actually really gonna comment on it, right? Well, I say one or several things is gonna happen. They either gonna comment on it, right? Or they gonna look at it like, okay, he don't know what the fuck he talking about. Right? Or and then they actually really are not, they really don't want to know the truth. Now that might be two things or whatever, but I always look at the simple fact that, hey, guess what? If you actually really stop and look at that whole piece, go back and listen to what the grandmother said or the mother said. She said that when they shot him, she could see she saw where they shot him at, and she saw clear through the other side. And that's not possible, right? You can't, you cannot actually really, that's next to impossible. So for her to actually really say that, it actually really makes you think, did that actually really take place? A lot of the stuff that happens is nothing more than a ploy to keep the motherfucking masses separated. Yeah, it's all through the hole. She said she saw that, which I know better than that, right? And then even you can shoot a motherfucker with the biggest, with a 12 gauge, and you're not gonna be able to see through them because a lot of this stuff is buckshot. So again, this is all what this is about here. The ultimate knowledge. What is actually really being presented in front of us? What is presented to us in front of the television or teleunivision is what I like to call it. Or you listening to what the hell somebody done told you. Now again, right? People that you see on a daily basis growing up. Yeah, my family. Yeah, okay. Again, right? Anybody that has any sense know that that's strictly impossible, right? So, but the thing is this: how many people actually really bought into that? How many people actually really got pissed off behind that, knowing damn well that whatever it is that can keep this bullshit going, that's what the fuck they gonna do. Like this fake war. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So again, you've been watching a lot of my videos. So again, I look at it like this, it's a lot of it. I'm almost willing to bet money that if anybody was to go to the Ukraine right now, ain't none of that stuff over there tore up. I'm putting it out there. So, but I just, me personally, I really wish that a lot of people, instead of actually really just accepting what the fuck they see on the teleunivision, that they actually really start asking questions as far as like, okay, well, what is really going on here? Why is this actually really happening? And who's really going to benefit from it? And it's not just with the war, it's with education from the lowest level to the highest level, right? The educational system is fucked up on every level possible, right? What the entertainment that we sell, it goes over to other countries, and they think, okay, this is how we act. Yeah, because how else are they gonna get those people? How else are they gonna get those people out from over there? Right? And then I did a video a while back. They want to sit up here and talk about, well, look at how they treat the Africans. Well, and then I said this. I'm like, okay, well, you go over to Africa, the continent of Africa, and there's plenty of countries on the continent of Africa. You can ask anybody over there, like, Africa, what's that? Right? I'm Egyptian, or I'm Nigerian, or whatever country that they come from. The word Africa is not gonna fly out of these people's mouth. I'm sorry. So again, the ultimate question or the ultimate knowledge. Are you actually really seeking the ultimate knowledge? Are you really asking the ultimate question? Right? It's like, okay, what the fuck is really going on here? Because for the most part, we already know who's benefiting from it. But everybody Well, I'm not gonna say everybody. Let's just say the majority of the people in the world, regardless of what country, they actually really thinking that the shit that they see on television or television, or what my grandma used to say, the idiot box, they actually really believe this shit is going on. And I know, listen, I'm only one person. I can't sit up there and be like, hey, guess what? It's all bullshit. Ain't nobody finna listen to me. Hell, look at what the fuck they did to Trump. Right? That's why they got his ass out there. Maybe he was saying just a little bit too much. So my whole deal is this, and I'm gonna let everybody see this. You know? So again, this is what my man been talking about. You know, here's another one. So again, people, you really gotta ask yourself. All I ask, you ain't necessarily gotta listen to what the fuck the crazy uncle gotta tell you. I'm not telling you to, I'm not saying that, but all what I am asking of y'all is this. From so-called religion to politics to economics. Just ask yourself the question, this ultimate question. What the fuck is really going on? What is really going on? Why the fuck is it going on? And then who's that? And then ask yourself who's going to really benefit from it. And then I'm gonna try to backtrack. I'm gonna try to backtrack a little bit because I did say this. I said, listen, know everything what the fuck you need to know at a particular point in your life. It could be right now. It could be 2 minutes from now, 2 hours from now, 2 days from now, 2 weeks from now. However long did it actually take your ass, right? You got to ask yourself, okay, well, do I know everything that I need to know? Meaning, I don't need to know why ice is slippery. I know damn why. I know why it's slippery. Okay, it's ice. You ain't gonna get no traction. But motherfuckers, there's no that they pay people to figure out why ice is slippery. And I'm like, damn. Tax dollars hard at work. Ask yourself, is there a real cure for cancer? Or any other bullshit disease that they got out there? Right? Because I'll be the first one to tell you. It's a cure. it's a cure if it's outside the Bible. That if it's outside that Bible, that don't believe in it. Okay, yeah, I give you that one too, right? But then again, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something about that Bible, right? It's a certain way that you got to read that Bible. The Bible just like any other book, right? The Bible got characters in it just like any other book. And you got to ask yourself, okay, well, who was he talking to at that particular time? And was it actually really meant for us? Right? But a lot of the questions, they were like, hey, especially that one part where it said, hey, guess what? Do this in remembrance of me. And then what happened 3 days later? He rose. Now, for the most part, and then I'm not gonna talk about it now, but I usually always do Easter show. I always do a show on so-called Easter. I'm not gonna actually really spill the beans now, but they're like saying, hey, guess what? Feel free to go back and look at previous shows on this channel Then I actually talked about Easter. I talked about Easter. I talked about Christmas. I talked about Halloween, Thanksgiving, you name it. Because I'm telling you something about Halloween. I will say this about Halloween, right? Like a lot of motherfuckers say, hey, guess what? Every day is Christmas. Every day is, yeah, every day is Christmas. Every day is motherfucking Thanksgiving. Guess what? Every day is also motherfucking Halloween, too, right? Whether you actually really put on makeup on your face or you put on the motherfucking uniform, also known as a goddamn costume, and once you walk out your door, that is who you that's it that is who you portraying. From the time that you clock in to the time that you get off. You are other than the person that when you woke up, well, I'm just saying, right? And I'll be the first one to tell you, shit. I wore a costume for 21 years, and it said United States Army on it. So, but in either case, but in either case, I'm just looking, I'm just doing this as an example, right? So my whole thing will always be this: go out there and seek the ultimate knowledge. And then sometimes, if not all the time, this shit could be like right there. But it's just for the simple fact that, and I'm guilty of this myself. I think what happens, well, what do you regret? Oh, wow. Sometimes now I actually really, I stop and I think about it because my whole thing, and don't let everybody see this, right? So I'll be the first one to tell you. In a sense, I do because I truly honestly believe that at that one point I felt that I was actually really fighting for freedom. But then again, once I actually really stop and think about it, uh, freedom, and I actually really did a show about this. Freedom was around before any type of government or governments was established. Freedom is something that you can't. Freedom is something that you can't capture. And again, freedom, just like the definition of freedom, is just like the definition of everything. That is so doggone broad it is ridiculous. Because anything could be actually really classified as freedom. Whatever that you are actually really allowed to do on any level, that's what freedom is. So now you got to ask yourself. So now you got to ask yourself the all important question, right? Yeah, this is what the fuck they sell us. But are we actually really? Was I actually really fighting for freedom or world domination? I would actually really tell you that. Hey, guess what? World domination. I mean, it is what it is. You know, sometimes it's a hard pill for me to swallow, but now that I can actually really go back and look at it, hey, it is what it is. Again, it's one of those things that uh, I've always heard of that this one saying. Motherfucker be like, if I knew then what I know now, right? And then I'll be like, motherfucker be like, if I knew then what I know now, I'll be a smarter person. No, the fuck you wouldn't, because because it's always gonna be a question, the questions that you're gonna ask yourself. So you're not gonna be no different than what the fuck you are. So, so stop saying that. That is like one statement that a lot of motherfuckers need to stop saying. Because it could be like this. Okay, I could be like, okay, because I'm about to turn 49 here quite shortly. And I know a whole lot of stuff. So even if I was actually really uh if all possible, which I don't, even if it was all possible, I wouldn't want to do this shit, right? But it's motherfucker tell me, hey, look, guess what? We can rewind. We gonna give you the chance to rewind your life back 20 plus years with all of the information that you got right now. And then you can go back and clean up whatever the fuck that you need to clean up. And then I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Let me go ahead and live out my life right now at this particular moment in time. Let me live my life out right now. However long that may be. Because let me continue to learn what the fuck because I'm pretty sure there's some new shit out there that I need to know about. But I'm not going to rush it. So all what I'm saying is this, people. Ask questions. Always ask questions. And then if you just got to ask somebody, make sure that whoever the hell that you ask, that they know what the fuck they talking about. And if that don't help you, hey, guess what? Go outside, look at the doggone creation. Because the creation as a whole will always tell you what the hell is going on. Right? And then I know there's a lot of people out there where they'll be like, okay, well, this, that, the third. But again, we are part of the creation. Right? So sometimes you might just need to just go ahead and look at yourself in the motherfucking mirror real tough. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna check that out, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna go back and check this. Who this person is? I think I might have heard of that person once before. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, but hey, and I, like I say, in other case, people, it's only so much that I can act. I mean, it's only so much that a person can say. About ask, about the ultimate question, or the ultimate or questions, or the ultimate knowledge. And it's just like when I say, hey, guess what? Go outside, look at the creation, look at nature. Nature will always tell you what the fuck is going on. Right? No matter how much civilized man may actually really try to change it with the heart machine and chemtrails, right? Nature will always find a way to tell the doggone story. Uh, I sincerely hope that what I've said has made a lot of sense. And it's just for the simple fact that there's a reason why I call myself the crazy uncle. If a lion could talk English, a white person would try to convince them. What the fuck? Hold on. What you say? Hold on. If a lion could talk English, a white person would try to convince them. Yeah. Again, I mean, but I look at it like this. You do what you need to do to survive, and for the most part, uh, and I hate to say it, sometimes it's a kill to be. It's either a kill or be killed world out here. Everybody ain't gonna survive. Everybody ain't gonna survive. Right? Right? But I truly honestly believe, given the right type of knowledge, right? Then you, me, and everybody else, we actually really got a fighting chance. And then I mean, everybody wants to survive, regardless of how old or how young you be. Right? Everybody wants to survive. I truly honestly believe that. Right? But again, they too busy listening to what the fuck everybody's telling them. And then I think a lot of times I truly honestly believe, like, once you get motherfuckers saying, hey, do this, no, don't do that, do that. And then after a while you say, you know what, fuck it, I'm out. So did you hear about white people having whoa, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Having zero birth rate about. Oh well, no, I didn't hear about that. But then again, I look at it like this, right? There's always gonna be a shift, and I'll let everybody look at this, right? So it's always gonna be a shift. It's always gonna be a shift somewhere. But then here's something that I want to ask you, right? Where do you think white folks come from? Right? Because I'll tell you this, and again, this is just me, and I've actually been trying to look up research on this, but I think white folks, so-called white folks, are nothing more than a result of albinoism. That's just how I look at it. Because shit, you take my blood type and take their blood type, and if they ain't positive, then what the fuck they tell you? Okay, and then one or two things will happen, right? They'll either kill your ass off or they run your ass off into the so-called Caucasus Mountains, right? So again, it's all about you. I mean, cause motherfuckers down sit up there like, well, where did white folks come from? They say the Caucasus. They say the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, how the fuck they get there? That's what the fuck you need to ask yourself, right? How the fuck they get there? They had to come from somewhere. Somebody had to run them off. They had to look a certain way versus what everybody else looked like for them to actually really get run off to go to the so-called Caucasus Mountains. What am I? Hold on. I'm okay. I'm looking at let him. I said what I said. I think that they were grafted. If you shave a monkey, you have the same statue, the same skin, and the white. Okay. I mean, all right. So again, you know, okay, you doing some. Okay, and the only reason why I'm doing this because I have to actually go back to once I'm done here. I'm actually going to go back and look at all this stuff which you told me to look at. Now, like a lot of this stuff, I can I can be like, okay, well, some of it I heard, some of it I heard, some of it I've heard, and some of it I haven't. So, I mean, once this is all over with, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do it tonight, but I will be doing it tomorrow, right? Because again, I knew somebody was gonna come in here and be like, okay, well, damn. So he looking at questions. So I'm gonna give so again, this is what I'll be actually be looking for. I'll be like, okay, because I come on here and I can say my piece and then nobody say shit. Right? They don't say shit until after the fact. Now, granted the fact, I'm not gonna always broadcast when I come on, right? Because again, you know, I only come on when I actually really feel like when I actually really feel the conversation, or when I actually really feel it that it's necessary. Anybody else, they can sit up here and be like, "Oh, well, I'm coming on at such and such and such a time," right? And I'm like, "No, right?" Because well, anytime when you tell somebody that you coming on such and such and such a time, then that means that you go write notes about the shit, right? Because 9 times out of 10, you gonna forget about what the fuck you talking about when that time comes. Oh yeah, okay, I get you on that too. You know, there's a lot of stuff that the Nation of Islam says that a lot of people don't agree with, right? So I'm with you on that one, but I mean, but hey, listen, a lot of people don't agree with the Nation of Islam. A lot of people don't agree with Christianity. But then again, if you actually look at Christianity, you know, because they want to say that they want to actually really think that Jesus Christ was his actual name, and it's Jesus the Christ. But then even again, Jesus wasn't his true name either. So hey, again, it is what it is. So uh I was somebody else watching, I don't know who. So but the my whole deal is it's like, okay, let's all instead of us, you know, and I'm not gonna say that everybody here in the YouTube community is against one another. I'm not gonna say that, you know, because I sit up and I'll watch other people's channels and I'll sit up here and I'll listen to what people say, and then I can be like, and then I'll do one or two things, you know, I either like it or I do my comment, say what I gotta say, and then I, you know, then I keep it moving, right? But you know, I just look at it like even then, I look at other people's stuff, and then I look at what's really going on, and then I'm like, I don't know, right? So it is what it is, people. But hey, uh, if there's nothing else that's actually really going to be said on this particular subject matter, thanks to my man here, and I'm gonna put you up there again, right? I got some stuff that I actually really got to look into, and then again, I'm not gonna say this is gonna be tomorrow. Once I actually really look at that and look into it and really get a feel of it, then I'll be back here in a couple of days or whatever. Uh, Blue Mail Lulu, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Hey, look, spread the word, spread the word out that the crazy uncle. Uh, I actually really got some shit to say. You know, I just all what the hell I try to do, I just be like, okay, hey, look, I know this is what the fuck you saw, but before you start running off and telling everybody what the fuck you saw, how about you ask some questions, some serious questions about what the fuck you saw before you start telling the next person? So, that being said, hey, guess what? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dan, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door across the street right the corner. Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Hey, till next time.